think it was really helpful for me because I'm not the most assertive person. And so it's hard for me sometimes to keep my class managed. So this helps me to help my students learn.
Do you think that this training can benefit other schools and teachers all around the world?
Absolutely. I know that a lot of us struggle with classroom management, and so anything that we can get to help us so that we can make sure that our students are successful.
Well, thank you, Ms. Williams. Thank you. You were just a delight today in my training, and I know that if you can really take the map and drive the instructor inside the classroom and link it to the M step, then everything will move. You see it? Ladies, third grade teachers, could you tell me, how do you think this professional development was for you today?
Easy. It was productive. It was exciting. They will never, never leave Mr. Hurt's advising.
Because the schools that I've worked with, the teachers I've worked with, their scores just go through the roof because what I do is I talk about practical stuff that's practical. Because I'm a former teacher and also I'm a principal, so I'm gonna be telling you guys things that I know will work in your classroom.
For booking, please.
So I believe that, if everybody say it can't get done, I'm like, yes it can, why not? I said, if these kids can't read, then I'm not gonna promote them. All this, mom, dad, I'm gonna look you in your face and say this kid can't read. We let them down. School, parents, we let them down, but I'm not gonna take them to the next grade knowing that they're not at grade level. It's funny because I'm always like, okay, how are schools successful? Well, schools are successful when they demand greatness. Greatness doesn't come. We're about to make history. We're about to learn. We're about to grow. We're about to make history. And then, mark my words, it's going to be other school districts, other places around it that's going to be doing this thing. We're going to be the first model. And I'm speaking that into existence, okay?
For booking, please visit shurtschoolturnaroundspecialist.com.
Good morning, everybody. This is Sean Hurt with your school turnaround specialist with my Saturday morning podcast. Come on, this is going to be a good one. I have so much information to share. We're talking about your first office as a principal should be the classroom. So give me 3 minutes as I get all of my Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube people in, and I need you to hit that share button and let me know where you're coming from. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I cannot wait. This is going to be an excellent podcast. So come on in and hit that share button. Let me know where you're coming from. I'm just excited. I got so many things to share, good news to talk about. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I cannot wait. So come on in. Let me know where you're coming from. I want to make sure I get all of my people in. They say, "Hurt, sometimes you start and then we don't know where to find you." Well, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on YouTube. All of your social media platforms, you can find me. So as we start to come on in, remember last week you said I'm gonna bring a friend. So this is what I need. I need everyone just to hit that share button, give me some love, give me some emojis. I want folks coming in because this is important information. When you have important information to share, hey, listen, people have to get it. So we want to make sure we got everybody in. Stay with me. Don't leave me, y'all. Do not leave me. Give me one more minute. I got so many things to talk about. Some exciting news. Man, listen, I've been up for the last 4 hours. Well, I've been preparing all week, but the last 4 hours this morning, I've been up looking at my notes, reviewing things, putting things on social media, get ready for this. So I'm excited. So hold on for 1 second as I get all of my groups in. Yep, get all of my groups in, get everybody in. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. You know, people just, man, it's funny when when you're when you're going to give this good information, you want to make sure that we don't miss it. So give me 30 seconds. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds, and we're gonna get this party started. Give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds, please. Give me 30 seconds. You see, I got my phone. I got just so many things going on at once. All right, all right, all right. So let's go ahead. I want to give some shout outs. So I want to say good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Mrs. Cummings. Good morning, Miss Cummings. Good morning to you. Good morning, Miss Joy from California. Thank you for waking up early. I know it's a 2 hour, 3 hour difference, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Hickman from Mississippi. Good morning, Miss Davis. Miss Davis from Las Vegas. Thank you for waking up early. You are just so faithful. You are so faithful. Good morning, Mrs. Truesdale from Atlanta. I'm gonna be down there. I'm gonna be down in Atlanta next Saturday. Good morning, Dr. Oglesby, my good friend, Dr. Oglesby. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Principal Jeter. Thank you very much. Been praying for you and the family. Good morning, Miss Melissa. Also been praying for you and the family. Good morning, Miss Hicks. Good morning, Mrs. Carol Blanchard. Good morning, Miss Pamela Carter. Good morning. All right, all right. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go and get started. Go ahead, hit that share button, hit that emoji button. My name is Mr. Hurt. I'm your school turnaround principal. And today we're going to talk about your first office as a school principal should be the classroom. Should be the classroom. But before I do that, I would like just to introduce myself. Is that we have a podcast called The Fantastic Four. It's me at 10. We have Create and Educate at 10:30. My sisters in education, Dr. Sheikah Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, they are doing some excellent work. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Sheikah, for all of the love and support. You know, I love you guys so much. You are just excellent. And then I got my mentor, my big brother, the man that does it big, Principal Kafele at 11. And then on Sunday at 7, we have Josh Tarver and Dean Packard. We call ourselves the Fantastic Four because we give out information to transform your schools, We've been doing this for many years, and we just love the work that we're doing. We love the work that we're doing. So today I'm going to talk about your first office as a school principal should be the classroom. And this is why I'm passionate about it, because I was a former principal. I've been doing it for 15 years. So every time I do a podcast, I give you information that I know will work. I don't have theory. I don't have anything like that. I give you practical information that I did. Sean Hurt did as a principal, teacher, coach. Those are the hats I wore. I didn't watch it. I wore these hats. And currently I'm doing work all around the world to transform schools. So that's why I feel that I can talk about it. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to talk about during my podcast, I always have a couple of things that I want us to think about. So the first question I want to ask you before I get into my topic, and make sure you hit that share button and make sure you show me some love. What is keeping you up at night? That's the question I always ask. I've been asking now for the last 3 weeks. What is keeping you up at night in education? What is keeping you up at night in education? So just put it in the chat, please. Put it in the chat, and I'm going to tell you what's keeping me up at night. The first thing is that what's keeping me up at night is, are teachers happy with their building leader and the vision that they have for the school? Are the staff happy, understand with their building leader and the vision that they have for their school? So that's what's keeping me up at night when I'm working with schools all around the world. Is that vision that principal have? Are those teachers? Does the teachers know it, understand it, and are they happy with it? Can they really grasp that vision? The other thing that's keeping me up at night is that why are so many schools, and I'm going to talk about Michigan because I'm from Michigan, so let me just deal with Michigan. The report card grade came out for all of our schools about 3 weeks ago. And I have access to it. It's a public website. And I looked at about 25 schools. And for the last 5 years, 6 years before COVID, these schools are constantly getting F's and D's in all of the categories on a report card grade. That's what's keeping me up at night. Why am I so concerned about that? Because these are the schools that when I drive around the neighborhood, when I go to this, when I go to that, I pass by these schools. And it really hurts my heart. So those are the two things that's keeping me up at night. Let me know what's keeping you up at night. Hit those comments. Hit those comments. I see Fred Hickman says social emotional wellness of staff and students. Yes. Good. Okay. All right. So let's talk about some celebrations before I get into my topic. Let's talk about some celebrations. I have to give a big shout out to Principal Deborah Howard at Fulton Elementary School in Ohio. She got off the Target Support and Improvement list. She reported that a couple of days ago. So good job, Ms. Howard. I want to tell you that I've been working with Ms. Howard School for 4 years. I've seen it. And congratulations to you and your staff. That is a humongous accomplishment. Ms. Howard is one of the best out there. And sometimes we just have to let people know about the big accomplishments that principals are doing. She's on my podcast all of the time. I'm working with her schools. Everything that I talk about, everything that we've been talking about on this podcast, she has done it. I have seen it. I have seen it firsthand. So I want to give a big shout out to Ms. Howard. Good job, your staff. I put it on my social media page this morning. Listen. Ms. Howard told me 3 years ago that she was about to transform the school. Many people didn't believe it. She's in Ohio. Many people didn't believe it. Oh, there you go. Another person coming into the district, talking crazy, got these big dreams, got this big vision. 3 years later, and it takes 7, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. No, 3 years. Well, really 2 years because it happened for last year. So this third year. She took her school off the targeted support and improvement list. That is amazing. All 600, 700 of her students, the families, the community. Imagine that. Imagine you every morning for 185 days being able to drop your kid off to a high achieving school, being able to drop your kid off to a place where you know teachers are rolling up their sleeves teaching. The instruction is excellent. Imagine that. So congratulations, Ms. Howard. Last thing is that a couple more things that I will be in Georgia this week and Arizona next week. So if you, I'm ready. I got 2 schools I'm working with. We about to go to the next level. One of the schools down in Arizona, y'all already got off the list last year. So now y'all want to have A's in all your report card grades. So I'm ready. We're gonna go there. And then the school in Georgia. Hey, listen. We coming. I'm coming. We coming. I'm coming. You know who you are? You're on here. I'm coming. I'm ready. We about to transform this school in Georgia. So next year during this time, I'm going to be like, it's a school in Georgia. I told you it's off the list. They went from a this grade to a this grade. I cannot wait. And the last thing is that, hey, listen, I put it on my post. If you are a principal, looking to be a principal, I got 2 positions that people have called me. They're my friends. They said, Hurt, I know you do these podcasts. If you send me people who's on your podcast that would like to be a principal, we're going to take a look at it. So if you would like to be a principal in the Metro Detroit area, email me your resume. I'm going to send it to the superintendents. They are ready to hire. I talked about it last week. So I'm going to do it one more week. I got so many resumes last week. I sent them all over to the superintendent. And then she said, Hurt, are any of these people, these resumes on your podcast? Because if they're on your podcast on a Fantastic Four, I'm going to pluck them out and set up an interview with them, because the simple fact is that I know that they are getting good training because they are on your podcast. So I'm going to say this again. People that's on my podcast that's been doing it, you send me your resume, you're going to get plucked out. 35 folks sent me resumes last week. She said, if the people are on your podcast, I am plucking them out and I'm going to hire them. I'm going to hire them as principals for these 2 schools. How great is that? All right. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started. Hit that share button. Hit that share button. We still got time. And I'm about to talk about your office as a school principal should be the classroom. Your office as a school principal should be the classroom. Okay? And a lot of people say, Hurt, I don't agree with that. That's fine. Keep on staying at that low performing school. But the principals that I've talked to, that I worked with, me, Sean Hurt, you already know my testimony. My first office as a principal was the classroom. So I'm a firm believer in this. I believe that you should spend 60% or more of your time per day in the classroom, in the hallways, engaged with learning and with the students. Now you say, Hurt, how do you do that? How is that done? Well, I've talked about it. I put up a schedule a couple of months ago regarding how to, from 7:30 when you get into that building to 4 o'clock, what you should do in the schedule that I put up, I used it and it allowed me to spend 60% or more of my time in the classroom. And I still answer all my emails. I still return my phone calls. I still talk to my parents. When my soup came down I still did all of those things that we say principals should do. But I still spend 60% of my time in the classroom. So now you ask the question, Mr. Hurt, why should I do it? Now, if I'm going to do it, Hurt, what do I get from it? What are the things that I'm going to get from it? All right. So this is where I'm going to break it down to you, why it is important, why it is so important. Okay. The first thing that you're going to get when you spend 60% or more of your time in the classroom, or as a principal, you should be in the classroom. Your first office should be in the classroom, is this. You will be able to see and understand the level of instruction that is taking place in the classroom. Write it down. You will be able to see and understand the level of instruction that is taking place in the classroom. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. If you are in your office, if you're dealing with all of the minutia that's taking place, kids fighting, suspended, that's a whole different story. Phone calls, parents coming in or whatever. How are you in the classroom to look at the level of instruction? And what's taking place is that the only time that we are going into the classroom, honestly, just to be honest with you, is either we have to give those mid-year or end of the year observations for my teacher, and that is very criminal. You can't say, all right, I got to be in the classroom because it's observation time for the middle of the year, then observation and evaluation time at the end of the year. No. If you really want to understand the level of instruction and be able to watch and support teaching, you want to support teaching, you have to be in the classroom, not to observe. I talk about this. You are not observing. You're just in there just to see, smell, watch, look at what's taking place in the classroom. Now, I work with schools all over the world, the Dr. Oglesbys of the world, the Principal Howards of the world, the Dr. Coons, the Dr. Taylors, all of these principal schools I work with, they spending time in the classroom. And it is not rocket science that all of these principals have high achievement schools. All of these principals have taken over schools that was failing schools, and they became great because they spent 60% or more of their time in the classroom. So now you go from a principal to an instructional leader of your school. That is the first thing. You say, Hurt, you give them good tips. First thing. And then on top of that, if you are an assistant principal and a coach and you aspire to become a principal, you got an interview next week, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks from now, another month. This is something that you need to talk about during your interview process. This is what you're going to do. Man, this is good. This is good. Hit that share button. I'm going slow like Luther Vandross. I'm going slow. I'm walking you through it like the R&B singer Luther Vandross. No need to go fast. We're going to go slow. All right. Yep. Look, all these comments. All these comments. Ms. Williams said, expect what you expect. Yes. Carol Blanchard said, you cannot instruct if you're not in touch. Yes. So the first one is you have to be in the classroom because you will understand the level of instruction. Number two, when you are in the classroom and you're not evaluating, you're not trying to say, teacher, I got you. That's not your philosophy. That's not what we do. Number two, you can better support the teachers. Your teachers will look at you as the instructional leader and not just the principal. It's a totally different concept with that. And then consequently, remember what I said was keeping me up at night? Your teachers will understand your vision as the building instructor, as the instructional leader. Now, when we're having our one-on-one coaching, when I'm in PLCs, when I'm in the data meetings, when I'm all of that, you will walk in as the instructional leader. Yes, they understand you're in charge of the principal. They get all that. But how can you really be the instructional leader? How can you even give teachers feedback and dialogue for real if they know you don't spend in the classroom, if they know that they haven't seen you in 2 months? Oh, you come in and drop off some and leave back out. Or the only type of interaction you get is through an email. No, go into the classroom, sit down. You don't even have to have paper and pencil, just sit down and just look at a 5-minute instruction, 10-minute instruction, and go to the next classroom. So now when me and teacher is engaged in our one-on-one or when I'm talking, I can give quality feedback. And the feedback is not negative. I can give positive. Oh, Mrs. Allen, I really like how you were circulating around the classroom. And I saw that for the 5-minute math period in the 8th grade, 90% of your kids were engaged. I love how you was able to transition from the classroom to the next period in 3 minutes. I saw that. I love that. I love how your kids, 3rd grade kids, was walking in the hallway quiet. You spent 3 minutes taking a bathroom break. You went into the classroom and you resumed that science lesson. Now you are talking as the instructional leader. Come on now. You know I'm talking good. You know that's what moves it. That's what moves it. You will be able to support the teachers. The teachers will not look at you as the enemy, as the bad guy, as, oh my God. They will look at you as we're working in collaboration to support student learning. I'm going to say this again. You're going to be able to support the teachers and you'll be working in collaboration to support student learning. That's how you become this rock star principal. This is not rocket science. I am giving you strategies and tips in order to move your school, in order to get them off the CSI list. These things are working. These things are working. Next one. What else do I get, Hurt? Come on now. I got 2. Give me some more. What else do I get for spending time in the classroom? And it's just not the principal, it's your leadership team. APs, coaches. We got to be in the classroom. I can support students and advocate for their social and emotional needs. I can support students. I can support students and advocate for their social and emotional needs. So it is not just teachers. I can advocate for the students' social and emotional needs. I can set up the school in a way that will impact those kids in a positive way, the social and emotional needs, because I am seeing what's taking place inside of the classroom. Come on now. I'm in the classroom. I can go and say, man, why isn't the air conditioning okay? Because I gotta be honest, this happened at my school. Why is it so hot in this classroom? These kids cannot learn because I was in there for 5 minutes. I couldn't learn. Custodian, we got to get this air conditioning up and running in the next few hours. Social and emotional needs. Man, I noticed that 3 or 4 kids are sleeping in the classroom. Man, let me call these parents because these kids shouldn't be sleeping at 9 o'clock in the morning. Are they going to bed at night? Or I can say, man, I got to have a better breakfast program because kids are not coming in eating. They hungry. We need to have some snacks. We need to have something. These are the things as a principal I can support the social and emotional needs of my students when I am in the classroom. So now, not only am I supporting the teachers, but also I'm supporting the students. Your first office as a school principal should be the classroom. This is non-negotiable if you want your school to move. Now, if you want to stay the same, if you want to keep on scratching your head talking about I can't accomplish nothing, if you want to keep on getting F's and D's on your report card, if you want to keep on having your staff mad because they coming to work and they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, if you want parents to keep on complaining, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to change it, follow these steps. Follow these steps. Number four. So we said number one, the level of instruction. Number two, you will be able to support teachers. Number three, you will be able to advocate for the social and emotional needs of the students. Number four, I love this. Number four is that you will be able to allocate resources for the school. Well, what do you mean by that, Hurt? Now you're talking about what do you mean by that? You'll be able to look at your budget and be able to say, know what? We're spending resources in the wrong place, wrong area, and we're not getting any return for taking $180,000 that we're spending on this particular thing, and we're not getting any return because I'm in the classroom and I'm seeing this $180,000, this $500,000 thing that we spent at the beginning of the year or 2 years ago. It is not giving us the return on our investment in the classroom. So now I can look at my resources better and say, know what? We need to spend money in this area. Oh, I got to buy some math manipulatives because these kids are having a hard time counting money. I need to spend money. I need to spend my money on some manipulatives. Oh man, I see that. Know what? The teachers need some chart paper that sticks because everything is fall. Oh, I gotta take some money and get that. Oh, Mr. Hurt, my kindergarten teachers need some whiteboards because when we check for understanding, they don't have whiteboards. I got to get 600 whiteboards tomorrow that they can write on. So when I ask the 3 plus 3, I can see it. And as a teacher, they can give me feedback. Now I'm wearing my teacher hat. You shouldn't have got me started. Yes, that's why resources are so important. So let me give you this piece of information from Michigan. Remember, I'm in Michigan. Remember this, and I saw this the other day, and I was talking to some colleagues. Listen to what I'm about to say. They said that in the next 4 months, schools all over Michigan have to spend their ESSER 3 money. They have to spend it with it's the COVID money, but it's ESSER 3 money. There is currently, as of 3 days ago, $1.3 billion with a B. I'm gonna put it $1.3 billion of COVID money that has not been spent in schools all over Michigan. Then on top of that, follow me very closely. Come on, hit that share button. Follow me very closely. And then on top of that, they had every school in Michigan and how much that they haven't spent. So they said total 1.3. We have all of the schools in Michigan. You have some schools that have to spend $3.5 million in 4 months on COVID. How are you going to do you know what your school could look like if you spent your $3.5 million? $3.5 million. Schools got $800,000 that they have to spend in 4 months. Some schools got 3.5, whatever it is. But now that's why it's important for you to be able to be in the classroom. So now you can think about, oh, these are the things that I got to use in order to better educate the students, to help my teachers, so forth and so on. Where do I get the money? Oh, you got $3.5 million. It makes no sense. When you are in the classroom, you can allocate your resources, the money, the Title One, the Title Two, the Title Three, the 31A, the ESSER One, the ESSER Two, the ESSER U. Come on now, I do this for a living. I don't got notes. I'm going off the top of my head about it. The general fund, the at risk, all of those budget items be spent correctly for the teachers and for the students. All right. Woo, this is getting good. Comments, hit that share button. Give me some emojis. Tell me if this is sounding good. I got people on LinkedIn, people on Facebook commenting. I got my good friend, Sister Deborah Howard in the house. See it. She's took her school to the next level. Go ahead, Sister Howard. Keep on commenting. Let the people know how good you are. I want the whole world to know about Sister Howard. I got it. Woo, Sister Howard. I'm just happy for you. The next one is this. Your presence in the classroom will have a positive impact on the behaviors of the students. Your presence in the classroom will have a positive impact on the behavior of the students. Well, why is that? Because you'll know exactly what's going on. You'll know who you got to support. You'll know what resources you got to lend. You know what triggers Raheem, when Raheem start kicking the desk and stuff. You will know that because you're there. So now you can be able to coach, help, support Raheem, help, support teacher Miss Allen. You can be able to help support everybody because your presence will lower the behavior in your school. I'm not saying it's going to stop. You got to put things in place. You got to put systems in place for that. But your presence, you will be leaving out of that classroom asking yourself the question, say, I got to do something to lower this behavior in the school. This classroom should not look like this, feel like that. Either I got to get the teacher some support, I got to get these kids, whatever it is, but you will be able to have those conversations with yourself and be able to support the behaviors in your school when you are in the classroom. A lot of times what we do is that we are in our office. We are in the office, and then by us being in the office, those behaviors come to us. But when I started and me and my team started to be in those classrooms, we nipped that in the bud very quickly. Look, this is, if you see my background, these are my students. And this is me because I was in this classroom looking at, okay, what is the level of instruction? What's taking place? What's happening? All right. All right. All right. So let me stop right there because it is 10:28 and I don't want to go over my time. But I want to really recap this. I got two more, but I will do that next week. I want to say this. If you don't do nothing else, keep listening to this podcast. Make your first office as a principal of the classroom. I will be in Atlanta. I will be in Arizona this week. If you would like for me to come and support your school, just inbox me. Okay, inbox me and we can make it work. You want to raise student achievement? Hey, it works. It works. The other thing is that big shout out to Miss Howard and her accomplishments. Miss Howard, you know how I feel about you. You know the work that you put in. Like I thank God for you because Miss Howard has done it. We started in the beginning, so you can be the next Miss Howard. You can be the next Miss Howard. Just listen to these podcasts. Keep rolling up your sleeves. Inbox people who have done the work. Last thing is that make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page. Make sure you look at all of my social media things. I'm putting up information. I put up so much stuff. So make sure you subscribe. And then thank you very much for supporting me. You know, I love you. I am praying for everybody on my podcast. I really do. I pray for you all of the time. Like seriously, like you can ask my wife. I have a prayer book. This is the book that I have all of the people. So when you say hurt, I'm going through something. I'm going through an illness. I need to do things at my school. I'm not feeling right, the principal, or I should be promoted. When I hear that, when you inbox me, I take time. I think about it. I pray for it. I want things to work. So thank you very much. I love you. To go over to Creating Education for my sisters, and I will see you next week, same time.